Hello, and welcome back. Welcome to my blueberry swirl cheesecake. Oh, baby. I'm telling you, this one is awesome for Christmas. Okay, it's not as cheap as a lot of the slices that I do. It is a little bit on the pricey side. That's why it's a great one for Christmas. Now, we do it in a Lamington tray, so it does make 8 huge slices, or you can get 12 normal size slices, put a little bit of cream and fruit on them or something, you know what I mean, and make them a bit bigger. Now, to make this, we need, I'm going to write the recipe below for you guys, so it's just easier that way. You can just pause me and write it. Alright, so we need 140 grams of butter chopped up in a small saucepan. We're going to need 3 eggs. We need 125 grams of blueberries. Now we need sweet biscuits. Now I've got a pack of Marie in the cupboard because we're in lockdown. This is our first day of lockdown, so I'm using whatever I've got. And I've got some original Nice biscuits, so it's a pain in the arse. You need 300 grams of biscuit and they come in 250 gram packets, so whatever. So I'm going to use the whole of the Marie ones, and I'm just going to add a few of the Nice biscuits, but you can use any sweet biscuit that you want. Now we need icing sugar, vanilla extract, sour cream, plain flour and caster sugar. Now when it comes to our cream cheeses, I'll just see if that's in view. Alright, these Philly cream cheeses are obviously beautiful, but they're really expensive. So depending on where you live, they can be from $4.50 to $6 a box for 250 grams. Now they are very yummy, but at Aldi's, if you've got an Aldi's near you somewhere, you've got the 250 gram Aldi regular cream cheeses, and they are $3 or $2.80 almost all the time. So there's a big price difference in them. Now I've always been dying to say this about cream cheese, but I never really got a chance, but because we're using so much today, I thought it might be a perfect time. So when you use cream cheese in any of cheesecakes or anything like that, when the recipe says 24 hours to set, it doesn't really take that long to set. What it is cream cheese, if you make something that day and eat it on the same day, it will taste like shit. But if you eat it the next day after it's been in the fridge for 24 hours, it's a completely different taste and it's absolutely beautiful. Now, I make these Oreo truffles, okay? It was one of the first things I made. I don't know how bad the video is, but I'll put it on at the end for you guys if you want to make them for Christmas. They are absolutely divine. But when I first made them and I ate some the first day, they taste like absolute crap, and I thought, oh shit, I've stuffed it up. But I always leave shit in the fridge and try it the next day anyway, because you just never know. Anyway, so the next day, oh, they were absolutely beautiful. And the day after, even better. Alright, so the first thing we do is we preheat our oven to 180 degrees Celsius. We get ourselves a Lamington tray, roughly a 20 by 30, a little over, a little under, it doesn't matter. Put some baking paper with a little bit of butter in it to keep it in place. So the very first thing we need to do is chop up 900 grams of cream cheese. Alright, chop it into big chunks like that. It's the first thing you have to do because we need it at room temperature or it's not going to beat up properly. So do that first and set it aside. Now we're going to make our blueberry swirl. So we're going to get 125 grams of blueberries. We're going to put them in a bowl. Oh yeah, baby. We're going to put 1/4 cup of icing sugar in there. And we're going to put 1 tablespoon of water in there. Now with a fork, we're going to mash it all up really well. Once it's mashed up really well, we're going to have something that resembles this. Oh yeah. And we're just going to set it aside. Okay, so now we get our 140 grams of butter in our saucepan, and we put it on our stove top on the lowest possible heat, and we start to melt that down. While that's melting down, we need to get 300 grams of biscuits, sweet biscuits. Break them up. Now either you put them in a food processor and chop them up that way, or you use a freezer bag and a rolling pin, or like me, a freezer bag and a hammer. Our bickies are crushed, our butter has melted, so we pour our butter in and then we mix it in really, really well until everything is wet. Once we've got that all mixed in, we want to dump it in our tray. Don't worry, this is a lot crumblier than the ones you're used to making with me, but this goes in the oven, so it's a whole different ball game. So you just want to flatten it in first and crush it down as much as you can. And then just keep going over it until you get it all like so. You paddle it down as much as you can, and you've got it pretty much as even as you can get it. We are now going to chuck it in our preheated oven for 10 minutes. 10 minutes later, out she comes, and she's smelling beautiful. Now what we want to do is turn our ovens down to 110 degrees. Put this aside. Now we get our 3 eggs in a bowl, and we just whisk them up with a fork and set them aside. Now we get our cream cheese, and we put just under a cup of caster sugar in there. We're going to get our electric beater out and beat it up on low until beautiful. Alrighty, once you've rubbed the cream cheese off the walls, we're good to go. Alright, now we want to stick our eggs in and very slowly beat this one up. Now we add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and add 200 grams of your cream cheese. This is a 300 one, so 2/3 of it. And beat it up on low just for a minute. Now we want to add 4 tablespoons of plain flour, and we want to add them one at a time as we're beating. So just give it just to get all the edges in. Alright, and now we want to whack it on top of our base. Alright, now we want to level it out a bit. I cannot stress how beautiful this cheesecake is. I'm telling you, it is the best one ever. Just get it all into the corners first. Once that's done, tap it. Get it all to sink into all the little bits and pieces. Now we need a spoon and a knife. And we get our blueberry mix. Give it a good stir again. Oh, I love that colour. Okay, now with a spoon, we're just going to put spoonfuls on all over it. Okay, make sure you get some around the edges and that too. Oh, I hope you can see properly. And then with the knife, I just get it, dig it in a little bit and just start swirling. Oh, now we put it into the oven. So what I might do is, I possibly could have used just the tiniest bit bigger thingamajiggy, is I'm going to put a cookie tray under it. That way if anything spills over, it shouldn't, but if anything spills over, it won't mess up the bottom of the oven and stink it out. Okay, so now that we've got it on 110 degrees, we're going to put it back in exactly 1 hour later. Oh mate, now see how it's wobbly? But it's sort of like a little bit stiffer on the sides. That's exactly how you want it, alright? So now what we're going to do, and it didn't spill out everywhere either. I didn't think it would, but just in case. So now what we're going to do is we're going to leave it sit there until it's completely cooled down enough to put in the fridge. So when it's cooled down enough, what I normally do is put a tea towel under it and put it in the fridge like that. And about an hour later, I'll pull it out and then I'll put some glad wrap over the top and whack it in there till tomorrow. 24 hours later. Oh yeah, baby. I'm a bit excited. Oh, mate. Alright, it's heavy. Okay? It's heavy. So, it's a lot. Let's see. It's going to be a bit difficult, I reckon. This way. I better do it so you can see it properly. I'll go down the sides. Maybe. I'm just pushing it in from the sides a bit. I'm not really sure why. It just seems like a place to start. I got no idea. Now if I grab that piece of plastic, and I'll sit it on top. Now very gently. Ooh. I can feel it. Alright, just pull on a little bit until it starts to come. Perfect! See? Just like that. Didn't even know I did that. Alright, that's how you get it out. Alright, peel her off. Ha 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 ha, yeah. Mate, the good things always take a bit of extra effort. And then obviously you'd, oh yeah. And then obviously you would cut, like just, if you wanted to put it out whole, just slice around the edges and you'd have to eat them. It's a real shame. And then you could put it out like that. Otherwise I do the squares and just put one on each plate with a little bit of cream or some chocolates or a couple of roses, you know, the roses, chocolates and that. Just something little and fancy to make it look awesome. Oh, alright, I'm going to chop a bit off the edge. I think it's like the rule. So I'll just straighten it up. See how we go doing that. Mate, and then I've got to try a bit. Right, I know it's a little bit of money, but if you want something spectacular for Christmas Day for a dessert, make one. Just make one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have yourselves an awesome day. Yeah, I'll be back really soon. Bye.